Hi, this is Polly from thefitmomformula.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you about why you need to be personalising your diet plan. Now, I often get asked for meal plans, but I never give out a written meal plan initially, at least before we've been working together a little while. The reason is, firstly, meal plans are very hard to stick to the letter in real life without me knowing all of your likes, your dislikes, any food intolerances, but also what works for you, what's actually going to get you the results you're after. Now, for most people who come to me, that's they want to lose weight, but they also want to tone up, so that means they want to gain a bit of muscle and they want to have more energy. Usually it's busy mums who are tired and sleep deprived and got possibly jobs as well. So without knowing all of that and talking to you, there is no way I can write a meal plan that's going to work for you. It might be absolutely disastrous. You may be able to stick to it and it doesn't work. You may not be able to stick to it in the first place. And equally, I often get asked what I eat, and I don't usually talk about what I eat a lot. Occasionally I'll stick a picture up on Instagram. But really, it's no secret. There's nothing to hide. It's just that it's irrelevant, because what I eat works for me, and I figured out through trial and error over quite a long period of time, really, what does work for me. And also, I'm always tweaking and changing and adapting to how I'm feeling. So what works for me is irrelevant. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So that's why I don't tell everybody exactly what I eat, because I don't want people copying that. I want you to figure out what works for you. Right, now, just to point out, this is different to, so we all have that friend who can eat as much as they like, and they just eat the most fattening foods you can ever think of, and junk foods the whole time, and they're never putting on any weight. Okay, some people have faster metabolisms than others, but often there are other factors at play there. Sometimes they are a lot more active than you might realise. Sometimes they're just that sort of person who fidgets the whole time, and you would be amazed how much that fidgeting adds up and burns calories. Maybe when you see them, they're eating a lot, but sometimes they maybe forget or don't get round to having a meal and they skip meals. So overall, they're not actually eating as many calories over the course of a week as you might think. So I'm not talking about those sorts of people, because everybody knows that that some people can eat more or less than others. What I'm talking about is tailoring your plan so that it makes you feel like the best you can possibly feel, at the same time as getting you the results you want to get. So usually for me, that's people come to me, that's weight loss. Some people do really well on a very low carbohydrate diet. For other people, that is disastrous. They feel awful, they can't sleep, they have headaches, and that's no good at all. Some people need to have more carbohydrates and they can still get the results they're looking for, but they feel really good on it. Some people can do okay on fairly low fat. You should never go completely fat-free. You should always have a minimum of 20% fat in your diet. But aside from that, you know, some people can do fairly low fat. Other people feel better sticking to the lower carb end but having a lot more fat in their diet. You might also find some days you feel like one kind of diet plan. The next day you find you need a different type. If you're a lot more active, for example, you might find you need more carbohydrates on that day than if you're having a much more sedentary day. Then perhaps you need not only less food, but maybe you need fewer carbohydrates as well. Maybe you're bumping up the fat a little bit to compensate. You know, there are numerous ways you can adapt, and what we want to do together really is to find out exactly what works for you and makes you feel good. Because at the end of the day, if you're attempting some strict plan, it doesn't matter how much weight you're losing, it doesn't matter how well you stick to it. If you don't really feel good on it, and if you're feeling hungry, if you're feeling tired, you won't be able to stick to it forever, because willpower is exhaustible and you will give in the end. And that's usually why diets fail, because they're too restrictive. Not just they're too restrictive, but they're restrictive in the wrong way. They're not the right diet for you. If the right diet for you is the one that you get results on, the one that you feel great on, and therefore you want to stick to it because you just feel fantastic on it. How do you know if it's not the right type of diet for you? Well, your body will tell you, okay, you will be tired. I appreciate there's other reasons for being tired, but having the wrong kind of food intake will result in being tired as well. Maybe you're craving foods all the time. You're craving sugar or sweet foods, chocolate. Perhaps it's salty things, maybe chips and crisps. Sometimes it's fatty things like peanut butter and cheese, pizza, things like that. You're hungry. If you're hungry all the time, you're not eating the right kind of food. You're not eating the things that are right for you. Now, that doesn't mean go and eat anything. Eat something that's going to work for you and something that's going to fill you up. That might be something as simple as an apple. You know, but if you're hungry all the time, then whatever you're doing isn't working. So that needs to change. If you're not sleeping at night, some people think that you shouldn't eat after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or you shouldn't eat carbs after 6 p.m. and things like that. Absolute rubbish. If you can't fall asleep, if you're having trouble falling asleep, I would actually recommend adding in some more carbs in the evening. That's for another conversation. But my point is, just because one person does something doesn't mean that's right for you. The diet that's written in the magazine, you are not the person who wrote that diet. You are not the editor or the nutritionist or whoever. There is no way that they know anything about you, and that's not necessarily going to work for you. And so that's, again, it comes back to me saying why I don't give out meal plans just like that, because there's no way. I'm not psychic. I cannot figure out what's best for you until we've been working together for a little while. There's lots of reasons why people work better on different types of foods. One is gut bacteria. That's quite an interesting area of science that's been looked into at the moment. And different levels and different types of gut bacteria can influence how you metabolize food and how you're feeling. Another thing is genetics, and also epigenetics, which is basically how your genes behave. The genes that you have can be switched on or off, and that's termed epigenetics. So usually it's lifestyle factors that influence that, and so that can influence how you metabolize food. How active you are. Again, if you have food intolerances, and just coming down to your personal preferences, what food you like the taste of, and do you like sweet foods? Maybe you don't have such a sweet tooth. So it really has to be such an individual thing. And that's what I try and coach on the fitmomformula.com. I don't say you've got to eat this. I say, okay, here is a guideline, here is a template. How do you feel? Are you hungry? Are you staying satisfied in between your meals? Do you feel good? Are you sleeping well? Are you losing weight? Are you losing fat, or are you losing water and muscle as well? We look at all these different things and make sure that whatever you're eating is the right plan for you. And also, I teach you how to figure this stuff out for yourself, so that indefinitely for the rest of your life you are able to then tweak your diet, tweak what you're eating, so that no matter what changes your body goes through in different stages of your life, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how active or not active you're being, you know how to adjust your diet to make you feel great and get the results you want and be really healthy. Great, thank you very much for watching. If you find that helpful, please like this video, comment under it, and subscribe as well, and then you'll get all the future videos as well, so make sure that you're feeling and looking your very best. Thank you very much. This is Polly from thefitmomformula.com.